What is up, guys? Mega Matt here, and this by far is probably the best month I've ever had for pickups for video games. I know a couple months ago I had a really good pickup, but this month I have over like 80 something games to go through, so it's going to be a long video, but some good quality stuff here. So I'm just going to roll right into it so the video doesn't go so long. So to get started, we'll just do this. The whole amiibo thing, I know I'm trying to get out of it, but they keep putting out amiibos that I want. But I think these two are the last ones I'm going to get. Probably not, but I say that, and I hope this is it. But what I got is Ganondorf amiibo that's really nice, really detailed. And then this one I wasn't expecting to get, and I wasn't aware of what this coming out, but I finally found one. They're kind of hard to find, and that is the 8-bit Mario amiibo. It's pretty cool looking, as you can see. It's all 8-bit, blocky, and everything. Okay, so that's that. Moving on to some random pickups here. Let's see. Start with local reseller guy I know I've gotten along with pretty well. I got some games off my list I've been looking for, and they were priced really fair, and I brought in some stuff to trade as well. So the first one I got is Darkwing Duck for the NES. It's a classic game. It's kind of like Mega Man, kind of like a shooter platformer. And then, I don't know if you guys remember, but last month I said I only got the case for this. Well, I finally got the game. Finally. So, and I've been playing that quite a bit. So, these next couple games I got at my local game store, as always. This I've been told is pretty good Castlevania game. It's a Castlevania game. Pretty good one for the Game Boy Advance. A lot of them aren't that great, apparently, for the handhelds. But this is Castlevania Area of Sorrow. So, I haven't played it yet. I've got so many games to go through to play, but I've just been cleaning them and playing them. And then, another Mega Man game to knock off my list, finally. I've been looking for this, and I've never found it. And I should say, the times I have found it, it's been way overpriced, and luckily I think it was $20, so I'm not going to complain. For $20, I finally got Mega Man 64. So it's pretty much just like the Mega Man Legends on PS1. It's the same game, but it's for the 64. And then I found some uncommon DS titles. These you don't see very often. They're both complete. I'm not going to open them up, but we got Valkyrie Profile, Covenant of the Plume. Complete. It's like I haven't played any of these, so I don't really know if this is a sequel, prequel to the one on the PS1. And then I have, this one's pretty fun. I was playing through it a little bit, and it's Lunar Nights for the DS. So pretty cool. Pretty fun, uncommon little DS titles. Alright, now that brings me to, yes, okay, I have two lots that I got recently. I'll go ahead and show the first one because the second one's pretty freaking awesome, but anyway. So a guy on Craigslist posted he had some Super Nintendo games, and I was, he posted five of them, and it was $30, and I was like, that seems fair, whatever. However, this guy was located in DeKalb, Illinois. For those of you who aren't from this area or don't know, DeKalb from here is about 45 minutes to an hour drive, depending on traffic and that. So I was like, oh, I don't know if I really want to drive way out there just for 5 games. So I asked him, I said, do you have any other, older games or anything? And I listed off, Nintendo. He had Super Nintendo, obviously. Game Boy, N64. He says, well, I have some Game Boy and some N64 games. And I was like, that's great. I was like, can you send me some pictures? So he sent me some pictures, and one of the games in here just stands out from the rest. I'll get to that. So I paid $130 for everything, and you guys might think that's a lot, but wait till I get to like the last game here, and you'll understand why. So start off here, we'll go with the Super Nintendo games. We got Super Mario World, Super Mario All Stars. It's a good one to have. Wario Woods. It's like a puzzle game. Another copy of Star Fox. I've gotten this like 2 or 3 times in the past couple months. And then Kirby's Dream Land, which is a nice little puzzle game. Okay, and then we'll move on to the Game Boy games. Game Boy Color games. We got Kirby Star Stacker puzzle game. Tailspin. Donkey Kong Land 2. These are actually Japanese Pokemon games. I don't know how he got these or why he got these, but I believe this is Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Green, or it might be like Leaf Green, but it's for the Game Boy. Pokemon Pinball. As you can tell, he's a big Pokemon fan. We got Pokemon the trading card game. And then Pokemon Gold. Now, unfortunately, the save battery on here doesn't work, which is kind of a bummer, but it's okay. And then Pokemon Yellow, which is pretty uncommon to find every now and then. So those are the Game Boy games, and now here we'll go to the N64 games. So we've got Rayman, The Great Escape, Clay Fighter 63 over 1/3, Extreme G, nice little racing game. Banjo-Kazooie, that's a good one. Star Fox, that's always a good game. Yoshi's Story, this is actually a pretty fun platformer, kind of like Yoshi's Island, but without Baby Mario, you're just Yoshi. We have Zelda Ocarina of Time, another good one. Pokemon Puzzle League, Pokemon Snap, Paper Mario, which is another uncommon N64 game. And then this last game is what sealed the deal as to why I paid so much. This is probably the most coveted game on 64 as far as rarity, I should say. It's worth around $300, I think, so it's pretty awesome. It was a Blockbuster exclusive. If you guys haven't figured out what it is, and we have Clay Fighter, Sculptor's Cut. Yes, this is awesome. I cannot believe that he had this and he agreed to the price we agreed to. So that game alone just made up for the drive and the bundle by itself. Alright, moving on. So, I dump all the games all over the place. So this next bundle is from my... Jeez, I'm making a mess over here. Sorry. This next bundle is from my cousin. I have 2 twin cousins. They grew up playing old video games. One of them moved to northern Wisconsin, and the other one stayed in town here. Last year, around, I think it was Christmas or Easter, one of them, we went to my cousin's parents' house, and they had a couple boxes just sitting on a shelf, and they were marked NES and SNES. And I was like, you know what? I was like, they must have games in there unless those are mismarked. So my wife actually was the one who mentioned it. You know, she wanted to look at the games they had. And they pulled the boxes down, and they had some quality games. I mean, some really, really good games. A lot of, like, RPG strategy games and all that. So we didn't really settle on anything. And then I let it go. And then in May, I messaged my one cousin that still lives here. And I was like, do you want to get rid of those games or anything? And he's just like, yeah, we'll talk about it in July. So I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. So July rolled around, I heard nothing. August, I heard nothing. And then this last month I said, well, I'm just going to give it one more shot and see if he wants to get rid of them. If not, you know, it just wasn't meant to be. So I messaged him, and he said, yeah, let me go to my parents. I'll get the games, and you can meet me at my condo, you know, sometime if you want to do it next holiday or you know sometime sooner. I was like, how about this weekend? And he was fine with that, so I went over there, and sure enough, had the games and everything. We talked about. I asked him. I said, "What do you want for him?" And you know, I figured by that time he probably looked on eBay or Craigslist or anything. But at the end of the day, all said and done, he just handed me the boxes, so I got all these games for free. And let me tell you, some of these games in here for free, it's just unreal. I was so shocked, super stoked, and let me just go through them. We got 55 games to go through, so let me pull up the NES games first. Box here. A lot of these came with plastic cases too, which is nice. But I'm just going to go ahead and roll through them here. So we got Bionic Commando. We have the Gauntlet Tengen, I don't know how you say that, Tengen version, which is kind of like the arcade. Back to the Future. Rygar. It's a nice classic. Okay, now let's see. How am I going to do this? So the rest of these are in cases, and let me start off with the... A lot of these have manuals too. This is why they're in cases. So we have Play Action Football. You know, not the greatest, but not the worst. Let's see. Dick Tracy. It comes with the manual. Yoshi with the manual. We have Dr. Mario that has the manual as well. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, that also has the manual. We have Turtles 1 with the manual. Turtles 2 with the manual and the Pizza Hut coupon, which is expired, but I've been tempted to bring this in and see if I could redeem for free pizza. Be pretty funny, I would think. Probably the employees wouldn't get a kick out of it, but okay, moving along. We have Double Dragon 2, that also comes with the manual. Ninja Gaiden 1 with the manual. Ninja Gaiden 2 with the manual. We have Castlevania Simon's Quest, that also has the manual. Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse, which is a really cool game with the manual. That one you could play as 4 players. I haven't played through with all the characters yet. I just haven't gotten around to it. We have Vice Project Doom with the manual. Maybe I'll show the manuals like that. Blaster Master has the manual. I mean, just these titles alone is just unreal, you know, that these were all free. I mean, just unreal. My cousins are just amazing. World Tecmo World Wrestling with the manual. That's actually a pretty fun game. Tag team game you could play with another player. It's kind of like, not really sure. Like, I think it's got Final Fight characters in it. Or maybe it's another one I'm thinking of. I'm not sure. We have Ultima Quest of the Avatar. Unfortunately, no manual, but not going to complain. They're all classic. One of the most underrated games on the NES, in my opinion. Shatterhand. And that has the manual as well. The only problem with this is like the label on the top. I don't know if you guys can tell. It was peeling. So I kind of tried to glue it, and it's still kind of messed up. But overall, I'm not complaining for free, you know. We have Dragon Warrior 1 with the manual. We have Dragon Warrior 2. And the nice thing about this one, not only is there a manual, there is a map that was included, which is pretty awesome. You don't find these games with that are loose that have manuals that have a map that include the map. And of course, one of the sought after ones, Dragon Warrior 4. This one actually was almost up to $100 and it actually dropped in price, which I was kind of shocked, but unfortunately no manual or anything. But this case is closed. Alright, then we're getting to the good ones here. We have Mega Man 2 with the manual. Oops, sorry. Mega Man 3 with the manual. And Mega Man 4. Unfortunately, no manual, but Mega Man games are always going up in price. You know, if you ever come across them cheap, grab them because they're just going to keep going up. Then we got Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! Unfortunately, no manual, but another good classic NES game. I want these closed. Some of these cases, I don't know, they just... There we go. Final Fantasy 1. No manual, unfortunately. But, hey, you can't complain. These are all free. Battletoads. Another classic NES game. Hard as hell. A lot of people cannot get past what is called the Turbo Tunnel, I believe. It's one of the hardest levels in the game. And then the last NES game, which is pretty uncommon. I didn't really hear about this until Grimsy42. I don't know if you guys watch him or not. He picked this up and he said this is a pretty uncommon game. It's real hard to come by. But that is Gemfire for the NES. Goes for around $80, something like that. I mean, they have this out for the Super Nintendo and I think just the Super, or maybe the Genesis, I'm not sure, but the NES version is the one sought after. Okay, so that was the NES games. So now, well, I got more dust covers too. I don't really need to. So now we're gonna get to the good games, the good quality games here. Not like the NES didn't have any good quality games, but this is what just blew me away. So, alright, we will start with, for Super Nintendo, I got a Game Genie with the book. I've never had a Super Nintendo Game Genie, but that was pretty cool to get. We have Mario Paint. And that came with the mouse and the board. The mouse is a little, what do you call that? Faded, brown, tan, whatever. And then, none of these games had manuals, which is, I'm not going to complain. We got Samurai Showdown for the Super Nintendo. We have SimCity. I think this was the game I was talking about that had Final Fight characters, or it might be the one. Capcom Saturday Night Slam Masters. Just a lot of fun, like I said, fun wrestling game. NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Super R-Type. Classic shooter. Another classic shooter. Gradius 3. Classic racing game. F-Zero. We have Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Of course, can't have fighting Super Nintendo without Killer Instinct, right? I love Killer Instinct. Super Empire Strikes Back Star Wars game. Star Wars games are good, in my opinion. Okay, and then we're getting to the more uncommon games you find. This one is called Romance 4 of the Three Kingdoms Wall of Fire. I have never heard of this game. It's like a strategy game. I'm not real big on that. We have Lord of the Rings Volume 1, which is another strategy game. Excuse me. This is a lot of fun. I played this for a good hour and a half. This is called King of Dragons. Basically, what I can compare this to is Golden Axe for the Sega Genesis. It's very similar like that. You get power-ups and everything like that for weapons, and you fight all these dragons and everything. It's really fun. Another pretty fun one. Not as fun as the other one, but we got Magic Sword for the Super Nintendo. I haven't played through any of these. I mean, I just tested them to make sure they all work. Alright, now we're getting into the heavy hitters here. So we've got the Seventh Saga, which is an uncommon RPG. Can't go wrong without Super Castlevania 4, right? I mean, that's like one of the best Castlevania games. Breath of Fire. I know there's two of these. I think the second one is worth more. It's more sought after, but can't complain with the first one, right? We got Mega Man X. Can't have a Super Nintendo without any Mega Man games. Just my opinion. And X2, which is going up in price, very, very significantly going up in price, which is crazy. And then we're down to 4 games here. These 4 pretty much, yeah, that's it. These 4 pretty much blew my mind getting these. So you probably just saw this one, but whatever. We got Secret of Mana, another sought-after RPG for the Super Nintendo. Final Fantasy 3. And then these last 2 games, my mind is still blown away. But we have a copy of Chrono Trigger. Yes, I've never owned a copy of Chrono Trigger, and now I have one. I have not played through it, which some of you probably think I'm freaking crazy, but this is, I think, one of the best RPGs on the Super Nintendo. So, super stoked to get that. And then the last game. The last game, I couldn't believe I saw this in the box. And I'm just blown away that I would never in my life think I'd own a copy of it because it's so significantly expensive, and it's just all the hype from it and everything. I was like, I'm never going to have a copy of that without paying up the butt for it. And I got one for free. So without further ado, we have Earthbound. Yes, I have a copy of Earthbound that I did not pay anything for. Just unbelievable. I mean, I am still, to this day, blown away at all these games. Like I said, all those games and everything were free. But that is not it. This last pickup makes all these other games look like child's play. So, this I found at my game store. I was actually in there, and a guy came in, and he said he had some games that he had in his basement or his attic. He just pulled out and wasn't aware of the value of them or anything. Just wanted to trade them in, get some extra cash. So I was in there walking around. One of the employees was like, "Look at me," and he's like, "Don't go anywhere. You might have a game you might be interested in." So, so this is probably one of the most sought after Super Nintendo games. As if Earthbound wasn't, one enough. This one by far, for any collector that is looking to complete their Super Nintendo collection, this one is probably going to be one of the last ones on their list, mainly because the price of this game can go about $400 plus, depending on condition and if it's complete or not. This one has a small tear on the label. However, I did look up some prices on eBay, and there was one that was missing like half the label, and it still sold for like over 400 bucks. So this game well alone goes for over 400, 500 bucks easily. Again, this is a game I thought I would never come across. Never have. I've never really seen a copy of it. Well, I take that back. I saw one at a convention, but they wanted like I said, $450 for it, and there's no way I'm gonna pay. There's no way I'm gonna pay over $100 for a game unless it's something I really, really, really want. But I have not paid over $100 for any game in my collection. So I'm not sure why this game is worth so much money. I was looking into it. I think this was released at like the very end of the Super Nintendo era. So a lot of those games actually go up in value. So without further ado, if you haven't figured out what this game is, I'm probably going to butcher how to pronounce it. And I've heard it's pronounced different ways, but we have Hagane. And as you can see, unfortunately, the label is a little bit teared on there, but it doesn't affect the value of it whatsoever. I opened it up and it's all legit, everything. So I never thought I would ever own a copy of this. But there's like 5 games in here that are 5 or 4 that are worth over $100, and it just blows my mind that I found all these games in 1 month. But that's it. Yeah, pretty epic pickup, I would say, for the month of September. I probably won't ever have a better month going forward, but I say that now, and who knows, maybe I'll find, a Nintendo World Championship cartridge, but I highly doubt it, and if I do find it, I'm not going to pay anywhere near what they want. Those go for thousands of dollars. But appreciate you guys sticking around. Like I said, this is a long video, and as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.